This is my Montserrat Stratian Voices, and we're talking to the two Ossie Lake from Trials. Welcome to my Montserrat, Ossie. How are you doing?
Thank you, and I'm doing fine.
Yes, so you were born and raised in Trials?
Yes, I was born and raised in Trials.
Okay. And I understand you related to one of us, one of the guys running my Montserrat. I understand you related to Iris.
Yes, Iris have to call me uncle.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about what Kinsale Trials area was like when you were growing up.
Oh, when I was growing up, starting from school, when I went to Kinsale School, and in those days, Kinsale School we had a small school and a big school. There was a small one just below. That's how I guess what people would call it as kindergarten, I think. But that there was little school was just one teacher there.
Okay.
And after you get out there, you started first standard above the road there, which would be big school. Now, and that would take you all the way up to 7th standard.
Right.
Unfortunately, we didn't have playground. The school did not have a playground, so we used to, all the sports, whether it was cricket or racing, was done on the street.
Wait a minute. So at those times, in those times, there was no schoolyard, because in my day there was a schoolyard.
No, you were talking about up Amersgate.
Right.
No, I didn't go up Amersgate.
Oh, okay. Where was the school located at that time? Down the low road? On the main road down at Kinsale?
The school was located down on the main road.
Oh, okay.
Main road that's going, main road from St. Plymouth to St. Patrick's. Main road that run along there.
Okay, so let me see if I remember that correctly. That was the old building by right across from where R.B. Joseph had his shop later on.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then you had Miss Mutt and them right behind the school.
That's right.
Okay.
But the big school.
Right. I see. That was the kindergarten. That was little school in my day.
No, well, okay, that was little school in your day.
Right. That by that time they had built the one up further up in Emersgate.
Okay. But the little school was below the road.
Oh, okay.
Where they, I think they had built the
Methodist Church.
Methodist Church, that's right.
Okay.
So whenever you started Kinsale, going to school at Kinsale, that's a little school below, that's where you started. And then there was only 2 classes there. And then after you leave those 2 down, you get up above the street in little school, which was started from 1st standard.
Right.
Up to 7th standard.
So you would walk down to school from Trials?
Well, yeah. Every day you walk down, back up for lunch, back down, and then in the afternoon, back up again.
Okay. And that was so was there a shortcut for you to get back up to Trials, or you took the main road?
No, in those days there was no shortcut. You would have to take the long way around, which was going straight the same as we call it, road that goes on to the same, like I said, from Plymouth, road going for St. Patrick's.
Right.
Then you would get down to Trials Road, and then you go up Trials Road. So
that will be down by Montserrat there?
Yes, I missed there, and you turn up there.
Okay.
By Montserrat. Right? And you would repeat that every day. Up and down.
So let me take you back a little bit. You said if you had all the racing and everything, you played in all of that took part in the street.
Yeah, the cricket was done. Going up Amos right by the same school, right there. That's where we used to play cricket.
Okay.
Right between the school and Aubrey, where Aubrey had.
Right.
That's where cricket used to play.
Okay.
And we would have to move. The stump was a rock stone that you have to move each time a vehicle was passing.
And so I suppose you do do like the racing and stuff. You do that on the main road.
The racing was done on the main road there, like down from washout pipe up to school, up to the school there.
Oh, okay. All right. So what are some of the things that you remember most from that time? What are some of the things you still think about from those days?
Personally, or
yeah, personally. I mean, when you look back at those days, what are some of the things that still stand out in your mind?
well, some of the things that stand out in mind is that after you leave school, and there wasn't much to do after leaving school. When I leave school, you have to find some job somewhere. But then I tried a few times to learn a trade, but none. I guess my head was too hard for trade.
Okay.
So I've never learned a trade. When
Right.
you grow up big, and you hang around, and then there were the bars around there, like Montserrat and those places,
Right.
Mass Harry and those places, and Kinsale then was the what you could call it. Everything was happening in Kinsale.
Right.
People leave from all over on Fridays and Saturdays to come to Kinsale.
So places like Mulcahy there, that was the happening place.
Montserrat was the happening place. Yeah. Then a few people, even my grandfather had a little place, up trials, green trees.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Then comes Sonny Ben had built a place there, bamboo hut,
Heard of that too.
that had somewhat taken over everything.
Yeah, that was famous for a while.
Yes, and a lot of those musicians, Charles Daly, Rick Tyson, fellas like Dasher. Then there was Briggs, Harold Eid, and most of those guys. That's where they actually got some of their start in the music business. And those guys they started playing steel band, and then they branched out into the other kind of music.
Right, right.
The Sullivan Steel Band was the top for a while. Top steel bands for a while. There were guys. Sullivan had some guys, from Trinidad, and they were the ones who were teaching the pan.
Oh, okay. Well, let me ask you something. Do you remember Brim, right? The place right up.
Oh yeah, I remember Brim, yeah.
Brim. Well, so Brim was active in your time. They used to hold dances and stuff at Brim.
Just barely going in my time, yes. Brim. When I was young, I couldn't go to Brim because I couldn't leave home.
Okay. I know he burnt. He got destroyed after a while. They burnt down. I heard.
Yeah, but Brim was in my time. What Brim was just. And I remember as a very young boy, I heard about Brim. About the dances and so. But after a while, Brim became, you would call it a rooming house.
Okay.
A lot of people used to live
Oh, okay. Did not know that.
And you didn't know that?
No.
No.
I only heard about the dances. What kind of dances did they have in Brim?
Well, mostly like steel band.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe Morocco, because Morocco was about the only orchestra that was around at that time, I would say.
Okay. And I heard a rumor they used to have the occasional zombie dance over by Brim.
Yeah, they had those, there was another one, there was, and there was another one they called Jolly Hall.
Where was that?
Jolly Hall was, by Monkey, there was, there was, that's a big house, we would call it a big house there by, Mem used to live. You know where Mem used to live?
Right.
Well, there was a building there.
Yeah, just below that. Is that what they did? I think is that what they used to call captain's cabin after a while? That big whole site?
No, I don't think so. That was something similar to Brim.
Okay.
And then they called it Jolly Hall. That was also a music place too.
Oh, okay. Did not know that.
At Brim. And then it too became it too was a rooming house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It too became because it was broken down, and then that house that Mem and they was living in there.
Mm-hmm.
They built that house up there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So Jolly Hall was actually right at the same location that Mem's house was.
Right in front of the street there. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Jolly Hall.
All right. Well, Adi, let me ask you about something, because we got a picture today that showed a little bit of the 65 crash up on Chance's Peak, and I know you were there that day. Let's talk a little bit about that. What was the weather like that morning?
The weather that morning, the weather was cloudy. The clouds were very low.
Mm-hmm.
During the morning. As a matter of fact, I was heading to work that morning.
Okay.
And we heard the plane. Everybody heard the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unusually low that morning.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to go over in Montserrat company over there to work. And I was at Monkey waiting for, there was a truck that was taking us there.
Okay.
The next thing you know, you heard this boom.
And
all of a sudden, you look up the mountain up, hearing the plane, hearing the noise, and everybody looked to the mountain. Mm-hmm. And you saw smoke up in the mountain. So
the mountain was covered in clouds at that point?
Yes, it was a bit cloudy that morning.
Okay.
Yeah. And usually the cloud would come down occasionally when you look up there, because that's the first place you look for rain.
Yeah, I remember that. Whenever rain sets up to come down, you check the mountain for us to see what's going on.
That's right. So you're always looking up the mountain.
Right.
And every morning you come out, you look up the mountain.
Yeah, see what's going on. Okay, so you heard the boom, and what happened next?
What happened next? You see smoke and flames. Mm-hmm. Up the mountain. And then everybody was running. Ambulance running. Mm-hmm. So I took off myself, and I got a ride up to the mount, up to Broderick's.
Right. So you go up Broderick's, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. And I got a ride up. Everybody got a ride. Most people got a ride up, except those who were up in the mount, up Broderick's.
Working already.
Already.
Mm-hmm. So you get a ride up to Broderick's, almost to the foot of the mountain. Then you had to hike up.
I had to hike up here.
Right. Okay.
And as a matter of fact, they gave me a coil of rope
Mm-hmm.
to carry.
Okay.
But that rope, I took it to a certain way and I just leave it.
What was the rope for, to help you get up?
Well, what the rope ended up doing was we were going to take the rope all the way up as far as that coil could take, and it helps you
Mm-hmm.
to get up. You would hold on to the rope to get up.
Oh, okay. All right. Tell us a little bit of what it was like when you got up there.
Okay, so I took off and then I got up, and have to remember we used to travel at that mountain. What time was it? Easter, or we used to blow a shell. It was Easter, one of those, or August. We used to travel the mountain. They say you were going up to see the Chances Pond to see the mermaids.
Right.
So it was. We used to do that once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that you could. I knew going up there. So I took off and I went up. And I got up there. When I got up there, it was just about 2 people were there before me.
Okay.
But then when you get up there, the smoke and everything was so dense. You know, it was fog.
Mm-hmm.
And the smell, man, you couldn't get in there where the plane hit.
Okay.
It was so smoky, and it was, smoke was so thick. However, I went in.
Mm-hmm.
Foolishly, though.
Yeah, in retrospect.
Yes, foolishly. I mean, I didn't know what would have happened. I didn't know what was inside.
Right.
But blown up or something.
True.
But then I went in. And when I went in there, I saw what was happening in there. People, I saw one body was impaled on a metal.
On a part of the plane?
Part of the plane.
Okay.
A female body was impaled.
So,
And I look around, and there was another friend of mine, and there was half of a body I saw laying there.
mm-hmm.
Wasn't burned. It looked as if someone had took some kind of something and cut right across the waist.
Oh, okay.
And it was only the lower part of his body was there.
Uh-huh. So the plane, was it broken up into a lot of pieces, or it was still, the wreck was pretty much in one place? Was it scattered?
Yes, it broke in small pieces. The only thing that was around was the wheels
Mm-hmm.
at some places, and some of the but most the better part of it was all burnt.
Okay. And there was nobody alive at that point?
There was nobody alive, period.
Okay.
And when I look at the male form, it was the captain. When I got out his documents, I saw he had the pants was on. Took his thing out of his pocket, and he was the captain.
So,
and everybody started coming up. The defense force.
Mm-hmm.
There was travelers checks and everything was thrown all over the place.
What happened next at that point? They started collecting bodies, or they started collecting, documents? What?
Well, no. We just look around, and then the defense force was up there. It was posted. I mean, because they had us to wait for the Panama officials.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was everybody was burnt by then.
Oh, okay.
So they had was to wait for the Panama officials to come in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Panama officials, when they came in, and they look around, and that's when they decided to pick teams to help in the recovery.
Okay.
And there were all kinds of journalists from all over.
And that went on for a couple of days?
Yeah, maybe a couple of weeks.
Okay.
You gotta get up in the morning. We gotta get a couple of weeks.
Okay, so at that point you'd get up in the morning and you'd go back up?
Yeah. But before that, when the Panama officials came,
Mm-hmm.
and the guys who are versed in the recovery and know where to look for what they're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Then they came, and there was young people like myself,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a white man by the name of Patrick Smythe,
Mm-hmm.
who was working for agriculture. Seeing it probably was on government or agriculture, he took over,
Okay.
and then he decided, when he saw some of us who were there, he introduced us to the Panama officials.
Mm-hmm.
And then at some point, they asked me to take a few guys to work up there.
Okay.
Yeah, we brought down after working for days and looking,
Mm-hmm.
the group that I was working with, they found the black box.
Okay.
And myself and there was this man, his name is William Bazi, but we used to call him Chuku Bazi.
Mm-hmm.
Myself and him, he's an ardent mountain man.
Right.
So he fashioned the maho. You remember the maho?
Mm-hmm.
He cut the maho and used the bark and the stick and tie up the black box on that stick, and both of us brought it down.
Okay.
But remember, we are not moving too far from those people. If they stop, we have to stop too.
Oh, all right. Makes sense.
Yeah, they're not allowing us to move too far with that black box.
Right. Right. So was defense force posted up there the whole time to sort to prevent looting and that kind of thing?
I'm not sure why they were posted, because there wasn't anything to loot.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing at all to loot.
Okay, you mean a lot of it got burnt?
Everything got burnt.
Wow.
Everything got burnt. All we were doing up there is to pick up pieces of body, put them in a bag,
Mm-hmm.
body bag, and there were some people who work steady in the mountain, and some people who were just bringing down whatever body down the mountain.
And so this particular event is something that stayed with you over the years?
Yeah, it stayed with me over the years because simply because I was so involved with
Mm-hmm.
it. There was a time when I got tired of going up in the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Then one day I decided I wasn't going. So, but then that day, particularly, I heard, a funny sound, and when I looked, it was a helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Helicopter came in from Puerto Rico. But it landed over by, a grammar school there, below in that field.
Yeah, okay.
That's where it landed.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found out that it came to assist people going up in the mountain.
Oh, okay.
So you would go over there in the morning,
And they'll fly you up?
and it would fly you up in the morning.
Okay. Yeah.
However, it was a bit tricky, simply because of the same thing that caused the plane to crash.
Oh, the cloud cover and that kind of thing.
That's right.
Okay.
So sometimes we would sit there and they would be gauging,
Mm-hmm.
and whenever they see there was an opportunity, they would go up. But sometimes when they got up, cloud would come down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
So they would fly around for a period of time to catch when it clears, and then to land.
Right, right.
Well, they don't land. They don't land up there because there was nowhere to land. They came down as low as they could, and then you got out. They let you out. There was they had that thing that they strap around you.
Like a harness?
It was a harness, but it was a harness that you just put your shoulders around it.
Okay, and they load you down?
And then hold on to it. So you could get in and out of it
right.
without their help.
Okay. Right. But they did leave a good amount of the plane up there.
Okay.
Because in the picture I saw today, you could see there's still some big parts, and that was like a year after.
Okay, so I will tell you what happened. The people who knew me then, there was a man, Mr. Todd, and they knew me, who was working up there. And myself and Mr. Todd was the last person to work up there.
Okay.
What we did was the huge wheels and so forth. Because remember, down underneath down the bottom down there, that's galleries and people work down there.
Right.
So what they decided to do was to ask people not to come up under there, because we were going to blow up everything, all the big wheels, and just let it go down the mountain.
Wait, when you blow them up with what? Dynamite?
Dynamite.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, Mr. Todd was the man.
Okay.
Mr. Todd. We blew up all the big pieces and just let it slide down the mountain. Okay. For the simple reason that just in case that it got wet and so forth, they wouldn't caught anybody off guard.
Right.
So we spent a couple of days up there doing this, blowing up those things there. Myself and Dudley Todd. Okay.
Well, I mean, Chauncey Speaker's it's an interesting place. There are always a lot of stories you hear about Chauncey Speaker when you're growing up. The mermaid, there's the jack-o'-lantern stories. What are some of the things you've heard about the mermaid?
Well, that's why we were going up there every.
Was it around Easter time?
I think it's Easter time. We used to cook duckna, and you blow the shell all day to alert people, and people would come over, gather up Broderick's. Right. And then we would head up there. I mean, but we knew it wasn't, we knew, people talk about mermaids and so, but we knew it we knew it wasn't real. But it just, as young people, it was just something to do. Okay. To travel the mountain.
There's a little place up there they call Mermaid Cave. You remember where that was?
Well, on top there is the Mermaid Cave must be up Broderick's.
Yes, it is up Broderick's.
I mean, by a Gutley, I know where they're talking right there. Okay. I know people used to work there. When you get up there was a gut that you go right up there, but up the mountain itself, there is water there. And there's warm water. That's where the mermaid was supposed to be. There was a pond right up top.
Yeah, that I remembered.
With warm water.
Right. So curiously, have you ever heard anybody say this? They've seen her? Yeah.
No.
Nobody at all. Okay.
Nobody's seen it. I mean, people just, I just fiction, man. People just.
Okay. No.
For some reason.
I know you've heard the jack-o'-lantern stories, and so you ever seen anything up there?
Nobody ever sees the jack-o'-lantern. I mean, for real. But what you really see is when you look up in the mountains at night, you would see lights moving, going across the mountain.
Right.
I mean, what could you say? What it is?
Yeah, those I've seen. I've seen a lot of those.
That's right. You just go along with people saying that it's jack-o'-lantern or whatever. But I don't think anybody know for sure what it is.
Well, I don't buy the jack-o'-lantern thing. That I feel is something else, but that's a different story.
That's right. But you would see it. You would see it in the mountain. You see it at night.
Yeah, you see them quite clearly, and sometimes they come, they come off the mountain and come down projects and that kind of thing.
Whatever it is. But who knows what it is.
Okay. Well, it's interesting talking to you, Ossie.
So, this is Montserrat culture. We